Have we seen the last of the GOAT? Have we seen the last of that bad man in a Packer uniform?
Hmm.
And have we seen the last of these dadgum internet hiccups that I've been getting for the last few weeks? I don't know if we can answer that question, but for the other two, we may get some answers and we may get a lot of answers to a lot of other questions. So we have got a ton to talk about, and we're going to get right to it here on Fantasy Football Fever starting right now.
15 seconds to air. Stand by all cameras.
Ready with slow motion and isolated cameras.
Stand by videotape and roll tape.
And tape is rolling in less than 5, in 3, 2, 1.
Take tape.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's once again time for Fantasy Football Fever. It is Thursday, January 22nd, 2022. My name is Tim McClellan, and I've got a couple of my buddies here already with me tonight. I've got Mr. John Natali and I've got Mr. Nick Dennison. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
I am doing great.
Oh, good to
Doing
hear.
great.
Good to hear. Now we do have some people that are kind of running late, but we will let them end the show as soon as they get here. We got our friend John Natali coming, our technical director Irene Namer, and I don't know if anybody else is going to be showing up. We did give out the stream link, so they'll pop in here pretty soon. But I say we go ahead. Well, I just got a message from Flynn. He said he'll be there soon, so he should be on his way here pretty soon. Anyway, as you know, this Sunday this is a big Sunday. It's what's called Championship Sunday. The conference championship games. We are down to the final four. Only four teams are
Mhm.
going in, but only two teams are going out. And they will be going into SoFi Stadium 2 weeks from this Sunday for Super Bowl 56. But before we do that, we have got a ton of hot topics to talk about. This has been a very, very busy few days in the NFL and in the football world in general. And the first
Mhm.
order of business that I want to talk about, some of you may have heard earlier today, it was announced that Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Robertsberger officially announced his retirement after 18 years in the NFL. Uh, Former first round pick of the Steelers, played his entire career with them, played in 3 Super Bowls, won 2 of them, and didn't go out like the way most people hoped he would. But I'd say he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Natalia, let's start with you. What do you think will stand out the most, or how you'll remember Roethlisberger?
Oh yeah, he had a great career, especially in his early days. He had a nice core. Remember, like Jerome Bettis back in the day, Hines Ward, Antoine Randall. Great group. He had a great core in the very beginning of his career, and some nice defense too. He was an all-around good player, but basically now was the time. He was aging, and he just wasn't the player he once was. But yeah, he retired pretty much at the top of his game. I mean, if he doesn't get the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, he definitely will eventually. He has the numbers to back it up.
Yeah, he does. Nick, what do you say about Roethlisberger?
I mean, I have to say, I think he had a very good season several years of playing football. I mean, wow, that was surprising of what I read about this today, Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Uh, Trying to look for some image that I saw. It had some of his stats. I think he's like fifth all time in career uh, passing yards.
I think so.
Yeah, that's pretty darn
Mhm.
good. And
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd say Big Ben. I'd say he'll go in first ballot.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on who else is on the ballot.
Right. That does depend too, but hopefully he'll make it there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's been a couple of coach hirings. This is where I really could use Flynn right now, but he's kind of running late, but he'll be on his way.
Mm-hmm.
I heard. I think the Broncos just signed. I believe it was the defensive coordinator for the Packers.
I think so. I'm gonna check the NFL website just to
Yeah, go
verify
ahead
that
and look
name.
that up.
I'm actually on the website right now.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Nick.
Well,
Yeah,
let's see here.
because if they did hire him, that could be a possibility to lure that bad man out of Green Bay and into Denver.
Hmm.
So we don't really
Let's
know what's
see.
going to happen there.
Well, let's see here.
Maybe
One of them I found, Chicago Bears have hired Colts DC Matt Eberflus as the head coach.
okay. So there
That's
is
one of them.
one coaching position that has been taken.
Hmm.
Oh, I see a story here.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos new head coach. Just getting this. Trying to get this darn screen going. Internet not hiccuping. Uh, this I guess it's the top that I have here. Just Denver Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett as the new head coach.
Yeah.
Yep,
I
that's
don't
the
remember.
one.
So we
That's
got
the
the
one.
Broncos with a new head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos with a new head coach. Oh yeah, he was the Packers offensive coordinator. So now he's become the new Broncos head coach. And as I said, that could be part of a way maybe to get Aaron Rodgers to leave Green Bay and maybe go to Denver.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
so we'll just have to see what goes on here. I'm trying to
Yeah. There's one other piece of
get to
news here. The
see.
Raiders. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
Oh, what else did you find?
The Raiders are requesting an interview with Pat's offensive coordinator McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. David is stuck in another server, but he has his pick sent.
Okay, so David sent our picks. Well, we'll let everybody know what his picks are. And we had a good friend, our good friend Adam Goodwin, just checked in with us right before showtime. So he gave us his picks. So we'll just see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
And another story here. Looks like Mike McCarthy will return for his third season as head coach of the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Not the kind of thing I actually wanted, since it was yesterday or the day before that Sean Payton stepped down as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. And Payton does have a history with the Cowboys. He was their defensive coordinator from 2003 to 2005 before he took the head coach position in New Orleans. So I was hoping, as a lot of us Cowboy fans were hoping, that they would get rid of Mike McCarthy and put in Sean Payton as the head coach. I think that would have been something right there, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen. McCarthy's going to stay for another year, and I think this next year should be the do or die year for McCarthy.
Hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Oh
he
yeah, absolutely.
spent a lot of years in Green Bay, took him to a Super Bowl championship there, made the playoffs a good bit of time. So, of course, Cowboys defense is still pretty good. I think they just need maybe a couple of offensive linemen, either in free agency or maybe sometime during the draft.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just waiting to see if anybody else is going to come along. Flynn said he was on his way.
Yeah. I mean, we do have some news on Brady. Like Brady said, he was gonna basically his decision is gonna be based on his wife Giselle. Like Giselle wants him to retire.
Right.
We do
And
have
probably
that.
want to spend more
I heard
time with
about
his
that.
kids. And I mentioned this to Natalie before we went on the air that I think it'll probably be maybe at least a month and a half, maybe at least before we get a decision if the goat is going to come back for one more year or decide to hang up the cleats once and for all. But honestly, in my opinion, Brady doesn't have anything more to prove. I mean, he has proven that
It's been that way for
he
years.
yeah, he is the greatest quarterback there ever was. So I think he should just go ahead and hang it up, call it a career.
And
He'll be in
retire,
Canton
spend
5 years
time with
from
his
now.
son. That's what he should do.
Right, exactly. So let's go ahead and while we're still waiting for our friends to show up, let me grab my clipboard here. And I say we can go ahead and get into these games here. If I can stop yelling. Sorry, I woke up kind of early today, and usually I don't like waking up early on my days off work, but I guess it
Mm,
just goes that way sometimes since I wake up early when I do go to work.
mm.
So I need to look up these pages because I do not have the line scores. I'll just get them right here from the very trusty ESPN website.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was gonna go if you needed assistance.
That's where I'm going.
Right. All right. Okay. Oh, we got someone. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the main brain of sports is here. Everybody, give a big hand for Mr. John Flynn.
Hello guys. Sorry I'm a little late because I just came back from the Islander game and there was a lot of traffic coming back home. So
No worries, Glenn. You're good.
Oh,
Hey, that's all right. Hey, we just got through talking about some of the big news in the NFL. Hirings over in Chicago and Denver. And we just wanted to get your thoughts on those.
so you want me to start with the Bears hiring Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. So the Chiefs hired Ryan Poles. The Bears plucked Ryan Poles from the Chiefs, and of course Matt Eberflus from the Bears. I think these are really solid, strong hires. The biggest but I think for the Bears is the influence of Ted Phillips. Now it is reportedly that Ted Phillips is going to have a little less of a role in football operations, which I think is very good news. But another thing too, Matt Eberflus is going to need to hire a good offensive coordinator because the big one of the big, if not the biggest question with the franchise is Justin Fields the answer for the Chicago Bears, and the offensive coordinator matters in this experience. So just similar to Buffalo, when they hired Sean McDermott as the head coach there, he needed to nail his offensive coordinator, and his second season he hired Brian Daboll, and now Daboll looks like he's going to be the next head coach of the New York Football Giants. So so I think and Darius Leonard said on Mad Dog Radio a couple of times that Matt Eberflus makes practice tougher than game days, which I think is a big deal, and I think that's why the Colts were confident for much of that time when they played some strong football down the stretch of the season. That, of course, was until their 2 losses to the Raiders and the Jaguars. So that's with the Bears. The Minnesota Vikings, I think, are you talked about Minnesota hiring Adolfo Mensa, right?
No, but now that you brought it up, you can go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, so the Minnesota Vikings hired Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, the Vice President of Football Operations, formerly of the Cleveland Browns, to be the new general manager there. And I think this is one of the breakthrough hires, and this is a trailblazing hire in my view, because Adolfo Mensa is really the first general manager that came up solely through the analytics departments in sports, and of course he worked for a few years with Paul DePodesta in Cleveland with his computers and all that stuff, and I think the Minnesota Vikings desperately need to embrace analytics. In the worst way possible. I think that was kind of where Rick Spielman went wrong. Why they went on to Rick Spielman was unsuccessful there. But the Vikings have only been to 2 conference championship games in the last 20 years, and the outlook it needs to change, especially for the defense. So I think that's an A plus hire for the Minnesota Vikings. Now the head coach, I think it's going to be DeMeco Ryans, so the 49ers defensive coordinator. That'll take the job there, and I think that would be a tremendous hire. Of course, Mensa and DeMeco Ryans, I believe they worked together for a few years. In San Francisco, so I think that would be a really strong hire in that front.
All right, and what about Hackett going from being the offensive coordinator for the Packers to the new head coach of the Broncos? Do you think that decision could lure that bad man out of Green Bay?
Absolutely, it can, and I think that raises the ante on the Denver Broncos. Now, a lot of the conversation with the Broncos for the next several months is everything that the Aaron Rodgers discussion is going to overshadow the free agents. It's going to overshadow the draft, but hey, look, if George Payton pulls the trigger and trades Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers are a Super Bowl contender in the AFC, and imagine the competition in the AFC. You got Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Mahomes, Herbert, and Aaron Rodgers all in the same conference. Everyone's got to say, oh boy, and the AFC is going to be significantly stronger than the NFC for many years if that happens. So this raises the bar and raises the anticipation. So because from what I heard in the press conferences the last several days is I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to play another down again for the Green Bay Packers. His last pass as a Green Bay Packer is an incomplete pass intended for Devontae Adams. And similar to what Tom Brady looked at with Tampa before he signed there, the Denver Broncos have a really good roster: offensive line, wide receivers, defense, skill players. They have all that. Now they're just a top 2 quarterback away from being a legit Super Bowl contender. So I think that's a fantastic, phenomenal hire for the for the Denver Broncos.
All right. Well, anyway, as far as my Cowboys are concerned, we learned that Dan Quinn is going to remain as defensive coordinator. And I heard that they're deciding to keep Mike McCarthy as head coach for a third year. Uh, we still don't know if Kellen Moore is going to stay as offensive coordinator or not. I think they said that he's got an interview with Miami, or it could be someone else. What do you got on that?
Because I know the Miami Dolphins are down have now down their head coaching search to 3 names, and it could wind up being down to 2 if Brian Dable takes the Giants job over the weekend. So you got Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator for Dallas, and you got Mike McDaniel, the offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. So. Just, I think the Dolphins need to hire an offensive coach this time to help develop Tua and help him realize his full potential. So I think if you're the Miami Dolphins, if Brian Dable really is the favorite, I don't understand why because they just had Dable in the building today, I believe, and if Brian Dable did not take the Dolphins job, I think he's going to take the Giants job over the weekend. So we'll have to see about that. But if Kellen Moore and Mike McDaniel, I think they would be good, solid hires in my mind for Miami because I think Tua can work with the Shanahan offense. I just think the Dolphins would need to get another wide receiver in free agency. Maybe if they can sign Chris Godwin from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think that would be a solid signing from that point. But this is why you don't fire Brian Flores, Tim. This is why because you're going to get a downgrade in the head coach, but if you can get a new offensive mind in, I think that could solve a couple of problems if you're the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I was really scratching my head when I heard that they wanted to let go of Flores, but
Yeah.
I don't
Giants
know.
interviewed him today.
Yeah. So what else did you talk about before I came in? So talk Bears, Vikings.
Talk Bears, talk Vikings, got Broncos, Cowboys. We talked about Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep. So he no surprise there. But he, Phil Rivers, and Eli Manning are all going to be Hall of Famers. So one of the best draft classes ever, the 2004 class. Eli going 1, Phil Rivers going 4, and Ben Roethlisberger going number 12. And did you talk about the Giants hiring Joe Shane as general manager yet?
Nope.
Yeah,
No, but it sounds very interesting.
Yes. So the first thing I thought was that the Giants looked at 9 candidates for the general manager, and Joe Shane was my top choice, and I'm very happy the Giants did the right thing. I thought Joe Shane was the best candidate. So, because he's gonna outwork and kick butt in that front office, and I just hope he wins the war of attrition between him and John Mara. Yeah, because Joe Shane really wants Brian Dable, and the Maras prefer Flores. But I think you need to let Shane take full advantage of the operation and bring in the Dable. Now, Flores would be a strong hire, but the offensive coordinator is going to be a big deal for the Giants if they go with Flores. So, but I thought Joe Shane said a lot of positive things in his press conference. He acknowledged the follies of Dave Gettleman, horribly evaluating their offensive line over the a few years. They're in salary cap hell. Daniel Jones hasn't delivered the goods like he was expected to with the 6th overall pick, and I do credit John Mara for saying that they did everything possible to set Daniel Jones up for failure. But if Dable could come in and fix Daniel Jones, I think that would be a really strong indication that that they're finally willing to start winning and actually focusing on football. So I don't know what you thought, Natalie, as a fellow Giants fan, but I think it was one of the best days the Giants have had in years, Natalie.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. He was probably by far the most competent. And as long as he keeps his word, gets them an offensive line, that's going to help Jones and Barkley. Yeah, Jones really isn't that bad. He just needs an offensive line.
Right, I would tend to agree with that. But anyway, if there's not anything that I've missed or
Yeah. How about the Raiders potentially bringing in Josh McDaniels? Because I think the Raiders are interviewing Josh McDaniels.
Oh yeah, that's right. We talked about that.
And potentially bringing in Dave Ziegler, also from the Patriots, to be the general manager. That would be quite a fascinating tandem, going from the Patriots to the Raiders.
yeah. Oh, and speaking of head coaches, I also heard that the Michigan Panthers of the USFL have named former Oilers / Titans and Rams head coach Jeff Fisher.
Well, are people gonna care because it's not the NFL? So he can't tie Dan Reese's record for the most losses ever by a head coach. So
I remember when I was a kid, I watched a few of those USFL games. So this new USFL looks interesting. I'll check.
Yeah, I thought the XFL was going to be a big thing, but then they ran into COVID in the spring of 2020. That has a lot of potential to really go off.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, anyway, if everyone's ready for the real good stuff now,
Oh yeah.
it is time to talk about Championship Sunday. We are down to the final four, people. And the very first game on the schedule is Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central on CBS. It's the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see where
Nick's got the line for us.
Yes, it is Chiefs by 7. Chiefs are picked by 7 points. Thank you very much, Nick, old boy. So, Flynn, why don't we go ahead and get started by talking about these big games?
Yeah, first of all, can we give the Bengals a lot of credit for finding a way to win that game? 9 sacks taken by Joe Burrow on Saturday night against Tennessee, and yet Joe Burrow was still able to find a way to win. He threw for 348 yards. He completed nearly 75% of his passes, and more than that. And he was able to get the team down to win the game. He was tough. He was clutch all day. And then Evan McPherson kicking the game-winning 52-yard field goal as time expired. And believe it or not, Tim, the Bengals, the team store, ran out of Evan McPherson jerseys. They sold out of them. So that, I don't know, that tells you something about him, but hey, give the Bengals a lot of credit for drafting him. The Bengals needed a kicker in the worst way possible, and special teams won the game for Cincinnati there. And then I don't know if you talked about this before, but can we talk about that Bills Chiefs game on Sunday night? That was one of the greatest games I've ever seen. So, what were you thinking watching that game?
I don't know what I was thinking, because I was kind of busy having a coronary.
Yeah. I thought there was no way the Chiefs were going to catch
13 seconds? Are you kidding me?
This is why I picked the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. That I just simply refuse to pick against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And my favorite thing about this is that Brittany Matthews, she is Patrick Mahomes' fiance. She spread a lot of champagne. She tossed a lot of champagne on the fans, and that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Actually, the people that were rubbed the wrong way were the haters, and there are the Patrick Mahomes, Brittany Mahomes haters, and the Jackson Mahomes haters, and that makes me like them even more. And when it comes to this game, I find four things on championship caliber teams: the coaching, the quarterback, the offensive line, or the defensive line. So I think Kansas City has all four. Cincinnati has three of them. I think the offensive line is a significant a problem for Cincinnati, especially the way you saw them last week. I think Chris Jones, Melvin Ingram, Frank Clark, the strength of the Kansas City defense, I think they're going to go after Joe Burrow all day. I think they're going to harass him in the pocket, force him to make ill-advised interceptions. And then at the end of the day, when Patrick Mahomes has the ball, it is just greatness at its best. The Chiefs are going to have at least 3 future Hall of Famers, if not 4, maybe 5, on the field on Sunday. I think this is Kansas City's time to shine. Arrowhead is going to be rocking. The Kansas City Chiefs are coming off a win in one of the greatest games ever played, and I think that this will punch Kansas City's ticket to the Super Bowl. They've been the toughest, clutchest team in the AFC all year. That they've been flying under the radar in every single way, and it didn't bother the Chiefs at all that they didn't get recognition for much of the season until now. The Chiefs are going to win the game. Chiefs 30, Bengals 20. The tally?
All right, Flynn.
Yeah. Yeah, this game was actually the harder one of the two for me to pick. Honestly, I was kind of contemplating on this one long and hard. And I got to give the Bengals a lot of credit. Before the season started, I thought they were going to be in dead last, one of the worst records. Yeah, they shocked the world and proved everybody wrong. Man, yeah. This is the champion. So I'm going to give credit there. Their receivers have been fantastic. Their defense has been pretty good too. And the Chiefs have been playing well like always. This game I've been kind of going back and forth on. And part of me wanted to say the Chiefs because they look better on paper. But then in the end, there was this little voice that tells me a Cinderella story can happen. Gotta have the faith in the underdog.
Uh-oh.
Because of this little voice in my head telling me miracles can happen, I just don't see the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl 3 times in a row. Give me an upset. Give me the Bengals 34-31.
Whoa, you get upset special from the tally. Wow.
Bengals are the Cinderella story.
All right.
So we got Flynn for the Chiefs, and we got Natalie for the Bengals. Nick, I'm interested to hear who you have.
Well, if I ring the field, he would probably agree with which one. I mean, it's too easy to call. I want Kansas City to win this one. Go Kansas City Chiefs.
I think he's going with the Chiefs on this one.
He's correctly disagreeing with Natalie on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I say that we may have a repeat of last Sunday night's showdown. I don't know how it's going to go. I think it's going to go back and forth. And it'll be nice. It'll be nice if the Bengals do upset the Chiefs. It would be a nice story. I mean, Joe Burrow, I think, is my pick as a front runner for NFL Comeback Player of the Year. However, I gotta go with Big Red. I gotta go with Andy Reid. I gotta go with the Chiefs, although it's going to be closer than the 7-point spread. I'm taking the Chiefs to win this one 33-30.
Yeah, our own David Heller submitted his pick.
So permit me to read David's description of why of his numbers. So he says the Bengals are going to come absolutely ready, but in the end, never count out Patrick Mahomes. There'll be a high scoring, a close but a high scoring affair. Burrow has had a magical playoff run, but their run I think will come to an end. He's picking Kansas City 45-35.
Ooh, he's got a bloodbath going.
Yeah.
Now, who's that from?
David
Heller.
Oh,
Yeah.
David Heller, yeah. And before we came on the air, Adam Goodwin came on, and he gave us his predictions. He couldn't stay long though, but I think he said he was going with the Chiefs on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He was going.
yeah,
with,
he said the Chiefs, but I forgot what score he said.
I forgot what he said about the score, but he said he's going with the Chiefs. So as far as we know, Tally is the lone wolf on this one. But it will be a very, very interesting game.
Yeah, just Flynn, just wait until you see what Adam Goodwin said on the 49ers and Rams game. You're gonna get a kick out of it. But we'll get to that momentarily.
That'll be interesting. We'll do our picks first, and then I'll take a peek. So.
Well,
Yeah.
Adam said it on voice.
Yeah. All right.
But we'll get to that at the end.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and talk about that NFC Championship game? San Francisco 49ers versus the LA Rams at SoFi Stadium, which will be the home of the Super Bowl. A possibility for the second year in a row, a team plays in the Super Bowl site. And right now we have the Rams picked by 3.5 on this one. So, Flynn, got two good NFC West teams facing each other for the right to play in the big game. What you got?
I think to your earlier point, it's interesting that we went 54 years where the Super Bowl was played between two teams that did not play their home games at the venue, and now potentially 2 years in a row with the Super Bowl venue featuring the home team. So in it as well. Well, the NFC winner is going to be the designated road team. In this, so the AFC winner will basically pick the jerseys and all of that. So I think when it comes to this game, look. So it is no secret that and it's only fitting that the final two teams remaining have, in my mind, the two best coaches in the NFC with Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, the two most innovative play callers in the NFL, the two most buttoned up coaches in the NFL, and both the 49ers and the Rams, they can beat each other in so many different ways, and the last several meetings have gone the way of Shanahan's because I think it was because of the Rams' depth on defense was tested more often than not. But I think when we get to this game, and mind you, I think it's gonna be closer than the 3.5 indicates. So maybe because it's a division game, division rivals, and I can't would pick by field goal or less in this one. But I think McVay. I think the reason why I think there's a big mismatch favoring the Rams is the quarterback. Now, you might say, 49ers fans might say, well, Jimmy Garoppolo has a great has a great record in winning and losing games. Well, that's what you need from a quarterback. You need to be able to win games, and that's what Garoppolo has done ever since, even since when he replaced Tom Brady as part of the Deflategate suspension in 2016. So I think it's going to be a competitive game, but I think that when you go all in on players, and when you go all in on an approach, I think there's a lot of pressure has been taken off Stafford with the way he played in his first playoff game, dominating the Cardinals, and then winning on the road, something he failed to do his first 3 times in Detroit. So I'm going to pick the LA Rams to go to the Super Bowl. I think they have the quarterback, and I think the Von Miller trade makes a huge difference for this game. In an instant classic, if you took out the Bills Chiefs game last week, I would say I would predict this would be the game of the year, other than Bills Chiefs. In an instant classic, I'm going to take the Rams to win on a last-second field goal by Matt Gay, 26-23.
Okay, so Flynn has the Rams. Natalie, who you got here?
Yeah, this one was fairly tough as well. This one could kind of go either way. I do got to give the 49ers a little bit of credit. They've been playing pretty well over the stretch. Using Deebo Samuel as a dual two-way player, running back and wide receiver, that's kind of worked to their advantage a little bit. On the other side, the Rams essentially have the best receiver in the NFC right now in Cooper Kupp, so that could potentially make a huge difference. In the end, it's going to come down to defense, and the defense tends to win games. It's going to be a close one, but do I dare pick the Niners? No, I will not. I will take the Rams as well, 28-24.
Okay, so we got 2 for the Rams. Nick, who are you saying?
Make it 3 for the Rams. Go Rams.
3 for the Rams. Okay.
Will it be 4?
Well, I think Adam said that.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Goodwin went super upset. All right, Flynn, get a load of this. Ready?
No.
Goodwin went super upset. He said the Rams. He said the 49ers were going to win 34-0.
He wanted to make that not only his lock of the week, but he is also making it the upset special.
Of course. What else is new?
William? Seriously? My goodness.
Tim, you're muted.
Oh. Maybe I'm just shocked that I'm still shocked after he told us that before showtime. So. Oh, and I got a message from Irene. I asked her if she would go ahead and make her picks. She is going with the Chiefs over the Bengals, and she is going with the Rams over the Niners. Okay, now it's my turn. I don't think the 49ers ever held first place in the division at any point during the year. The Rams did hold first place not only in the division, but at one time in the whole conference. I mean, yeah, as I always say, when it comes to football in LA, the best part of waking up is Cooper in your cup. And I mean that boy, I have to say he's got a lot of good years left. Matthew Stafford has found a new home in Los Angeles after all those years of disappointments in Detroit. But watching this 49ers team just blossom into what they have become, I mean, they really took care of my Cowboys, even though the Cowboys kept shooting themselves in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went on to they beat the GOAT. They beat the GOAT. And then they are here against the Rams. They're division rivals. I've looked at this thing from both sides. I'm going to do it.
You muted yourself.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
Yes, I am calling for an upset. I am looking at the San Francisco 49ers to upend the Los Angeles Rams. It's going to be probably in the last 5 minutes of the game. Final score 49ers 31, Rams 27. Give me the Chiefs and the Rams for SoFi Stadium.
Did you pick the 49ers or did you pick the Rams?
Oh, did I say Rams?
Yeah.
I am actually picking the 49ers. I'm getting the 49ers and the Chiefs. Yeah, we'll have a game at SoFi, but I just don't think the Rams will be able to host the Super Bowl.
Oh, so yeah, you and Adam have the same Super Bowl prediction.
Yeah, and a rematch from the one from 2 years ago.
All right, yeah, that is true. That is true. Oh, by the way, Flynn, we were talking about Tom Brady and thinking about maybe how long he may want to wait until he decides that he wants to come back or if he wants to retire. I'd say about a month and a half. You think over or under?
I think if he makes an announcement, I think it will be before free agency begins.
And I believe that's February 16th.
What happened?
And I believe the free agency begins. March 16th.
Yeah. So what is that? 6 weeks, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I think he's got 6 weeks to figure out to announce, but based on what I heard in the press conferences, based on what I heard on the Let's Go podcast on Mad Dog Radio, I think he's done. I think this was it.
By the way, David Hill wants the Rams to beat the 49ers 27-20.
So Dave Heller has the Chiefs and the Rams as well.
Yes. So me, Irene, Nick, and I all have the Rams and Chiefs. Natalie has the Rams and the Bengals, while Tim and Adam have Kansas City and San Francisco.
Now we're all over the place.
Yeah, it's all over the place here, and I don't know if there's anything else that we need to talk to, except for the fact that we will be taking a break next week. See, next week, of course, is the Pro Bowl. But tell
we
me
don't
something.
predict the
Does
Pro Bowl.
anybody-
No,
we don't predict the Pro Bowl. We don't even watch the Pro Bowl.
Maybe the first quarter, just for the hell of it, but
We only care about the Super Bowl more often than the Pro Bowl, if you ask me. Oh, yeah.
Right. So does, I mean, just for shits and giggles, where are they having the Pro Bowl this year? Are they having it in Vegas?
Yeah, Legion Stadium in Vegas.
Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas. So at least, that place will have a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, and I think Vegas is hosting the Super Bowl in a couple of years. I think. Yeah, because I know this year it's in LA. Next year I believe it's in Phoenix, in Glendale, Arizona, where the Cardinals play. Then
Right.
Vegas, and then I think that the one after that is at the Superdome.
Oh, back to New Orleans.
Yeah, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New
Now,
Orleans.
of course, there was a report.
You got.
I think it was a while
That's right.
back.
You got to talk about Sean Payton.
Yeah, there was a report that if for some reason, like for COVID issues or anything like that, there was a report that if SoFi could not host the Super Bowl, then it would be moved over to AT&T Stadium. And speaking of the Cowboys, yes, we mentioned earlier Sean Payton stepped down as the head coach of the Saints. And we told about Sean Payton's history with the Cowboys, defensive coordinator from 03 to 05. I was so hoping that we would fire Mike McCarthy and hire Sean Payton, but it looks like that's not happening.
Well, Sean Payton isn't going to coach anywhere next year, so he'll be a free agent next year. So if the Cowboys don't get to the promised land or don't win a playoff game next year, they'll fire Mike McCarthy and then bring in Sean Payton. I think Payton's going to be the next coach of the Cowboys 2023.
Okay. So basically, now that McCarthy has been told that he is coming back, I think this is his make it or break it year.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and I guess with that, we will go ahead and put a bow on this edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Like I said, we will have no show next week because we're going to be too busy preparing for the big one. We're going to be preparing for Super Bowl 56. Plus, in 2 weeks, we could be making our predictions for the NFL honors. We could see who we think is going to win the major awards from that category, even though I probably may have spilled the beans for my pick.
Yeah. I think if we're on for so 2 weeks from tonight is the same night as the NFL honors. I don't think we would probably do the NFL honors mainly because of because the winners will already be announced.
Right. Okay. So maybe.
I mean, we could still do the podcast 2 weeks from tonight. We just won't talk about the NFL honors.
Right.
And of course, if there's more news developments from the NFL that we coming between now and 2 weeks, we could talk about that before the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, the NFL honors is 2 weeks from tonight. Who's carrying it again?
I think ABC and ESPN, I believe.
ABC and ESPN.
I believe so.
Okay, so people set your DVRs, your whatever. So you might want to. This is going to be a very interesting show, and of course, that will be the night where we find out who will be the next inductees for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So I guess that's going to do it for our show. Thanks to my buddies Nick Dennison, John Natale, John Flynn. Shout out to Adam Goodwin, Irene Namer, David Heller. And if this weekend is anything like this past weekend, fasten your seatbelt and put on a crash helmet, because it may be one hell of a ride. So, guys, anything you want to say before we sign off?
Yeah, it's gonna be probably one of the best weeks of football in a really long time.
Yeah, it is. It's been one of the best weeks. I will say that. Don't forget to listen to Hooked on Sports with John Flynn. We have links down in the comments section. Check them out.
Yeah. I kind of wish I waited another day to do my podcast because boy, so much went down today. I went to the Islander game tonight, so I wasn't able to record tonight. So.
Oh, we got a little feedback there. Anyway, John Flynn's got Hooked on Sports. He'll give you a lowdown on everything. Nick Dennison, thank you much, buddy. And so for everyone here on Fantasy Football Fever, my name is Tim McClellan. Enjoy the conference championship. Enjoy Sunday. God bless you all. Thank you. And as always, be a good sport. See ya.
15 seconds to air. Stand by, all cameras.
Ready with slow motion and isolated cameras.
Stand by, videotape, and rotate.
And tape is rolling in less than 5, in 3, 2, 1.
Take tape.